Greetings, everybody. Welcome to this lecture about experiences that we are sharing with love. I salute you with my heart and my face, my totality. In the Total tradition, we say that. No, I salute you with my face and my heart. That means this: my face, my heart, my totality is sending greetings and love with vibes and the intention. So here is a very special occasion because I'm sharing this show with my brother Tim. How are you?
Very vital. I'm very vital.
Cool. Welcome to the Toltec Holistic School, and today we're gonna share with you some of our experiences that we are practicing the lifestyle of autonomous lifestyle. That's the topic of this program, and it's very important now to start to realize that we have been lied about everything. And when I say everything, is everything. It's not something like this. No, it's everything. Of course, we have hints of reality or something true, but it's just for the for uh, uh, attach your attention. But behind that is a bunch of lies, and the beauty of this thing is that we are tearing apart this reality with our experience. We are not sharing these experiences or this knowledge just because we have read a book, or we are just inventing something like the new age, something bullshit. No, this is because we are practicing this lifestyle, and now we are realizing that everything is different that we have been told. So that's why we are here. Is the moment, is the time to open the veils and start to spread the message that we are self-sustainable beings, and we can create our own energy. This autonomous lifestyle from inside, not from that outside. So this message is very important. That this is the, for me, is the real transformation and the real freedom at the moment that we realize that we are 100% self-sustainable beings, and we can produce our fine energy from inside and learn how to distribute this energy around our own system, and then learn to interact outside with the hologram and project a life in coherence and harmony. So let's get started, my friend. And I will, I had been watching your information too, and it's amazing also because we are getting at the same point, at the same nucleus energy of this knowledge. And I love that you are practicing also this lifestyle, and also that you are very young. So for me, it's very joyful to find young people that they start to realize this charade, this game of charade, and start to spread the message, and also that you are practicing. So I going to leave you the mic that you share your experience and start to interact, and I would like to that you share with us uh, part of your experience, and how do you came and realize that we are self-sustainable beings. So please share
you
with
know,
us, brother.
Thank you for the amazing introduction to the subject. So in the end, like when I came here as a soul in my avatar, there was always one thing I always was so sure of, and it was freedom and truth. And this freedom is unlimited. And no matter when people try to convince me with their bullshit beliefs, I never accepted them. I always I always question them. I always put them into somewhere, into a distance that it doesn't affect me so much. And we were all indoctrinated with the institutions, the school systems, university systems, no matter what, even our parents, they got indoctrinated from their own parents, and they're from their own parents. And so it's a transgenerational indoctrination and enslavement and collective amnesia. And I don't know how many times we played this, how many times we went into loops, but my soul has so much fire this life and tells me, you ain't gonna fuck up this time. It's like, this time you go completely radical, and radical means to the roots, going for the truth only, not losing yourself. Yes, there were many traps, and there are still many traps, and still many veils, still many illusions, like, so it's not like it's not ending, but we have now the tools. And as a young child, I was seeing like a truck with pigs, and the pig truck somehow had an accident. I saw the pigs were all like falling on each other, screaming and everything, and I was in this school bus, and I looked at the pigs and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And this was for me the change to become a vegetarian. And from this, actually, the journey started already. But you never have one single point of reference where your journey started. So I can even remember when I, for example, played ping pong with my father with 9 or 8 years old, and when I, for example, lost the game, I was hitting, for example, because I was angry, I was hitting the table. And actually, I directly apologized to the table because I knew the table is alive. The table is vibrant. The table is its own entity. And I just remember this, that I saw everything was alive and everything has to be respected and honored. But then you lost yourself more and more into the system. So with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, then the school system and so on and so forth, right? So first, you were protected a little bit by your parents, but then you went into the system and lost yourself, and then you had to get out of it again. So with 11, so I'm just saying it started with, or like, actually when we are already born, it starts. This is your reference point, not when you are having a singular experience of awakening or something. It's your birth, and this is where it starts. So, but as like when I see like becoming the vegetarian, then becoming vegan, letting out all the products, questioning everything. I remember I had a whole like a notebook where I checked all the movies of Matrix. I checked politics, religion, everything. Like from one subject to the next, just analyzing it, investigating it, questioning more and more and more. And then I made a big trip to South America because I know it sounds already cringy because so many people maybe take it now and abuse it and pervert it. But for me, organically, my heart, I didn't know anything about it, nothing. But there was a voice of the ayahuasca which actually called me to make the trip to South America when I was still very young. And I was traveling South America for 6 months. And I felt like it initiated me into a new cycle of 7. It initiated me into a beautiful door of perception, how reality actually is behind the veil. And then more and more sheddings, more and more fall away. Like actually we are here to empty our entire vessel. So we learn to unlearn and to finally recognize who we truly are and what our powers are, So the journey, for example, with the breatharianism is a long journey already. And I wasn't even aware of breatharianism when I was 11. So I just did it. So I think it just happens organically, So then after the veganism, then I was, I think for 6-7 years or longer, vegan, and then I was getting tired of all this food consumption and binging and emotional replacement mechanisms, that I was actually asking for help, or I was asking for an answer. This can't be it, Is this the fucking end? Shall we just eat and eat and eat like fucking zombies? This can't be, And then I realized raw food. I made juice cleansings. I actually realized, after a long time, that we never were taught internal hygiene, only external hygiene, creams, shampoos, all this motherfucking shit, like these fake artificial products. Everyone is like putting these toxic substances on them, and then they have kind of crazy sex and whatever, and like we are smelling so good and whatever. But actually, no, you're dirty until you clean yourself from internally. And I remember the day when I realized, oh my God, I have to teach myself internal hygiene. I never did that before. So because nobody taught us, like in the education system, nobody teaches us to do enemas, to flush your system, to flush your intestines, So the internal hygiene journey started, and then it went just more and more and more and more. The organs, the liver cleanse, the bladder, the kidneys, and so on and so forth, all the yogic cleanses, the techniques, nostril cleansing, and so on and so forth. And then, it just made click with, after this, the information of breatharianism came in, and then immortality came in as well. And then you dive more in, more and more and more and more, and just understood deeper and deeper that this is the truth. And, if you asked me 10 years ago, I probably would not have said no, because I didn't know, but I also never said it's not possible. I always let everything open, but the information came to me to the right time in my evolutionary process, in my avatar, in my journey. And now I'm just, I understand that it's so effective. Like I ask myself, why are all these people, these occult teachers on YouTube? I followed so many, I listened to so many podcasts. I listened to hours and hours and days and weeks and months of information. And I was like, they all have no fucking answer. They have no answer for me. And I was like, what is this half-ass knowledge? Like, how can they even say what you should drink? No, they will tell you what fucking water filter you should buy, and this will save your life, but you will get a 10% discount, right? But not telling you that you should drink your urine to actually heal yourself in a very fast, quick, and efficient way. Dry fasting, urine therapy, distilled water, juice cleansings, like no drinking mineral water, and so on and so forth. These are like free tools for you to heal yourself in such an efficient way. And you don't hear so many people talking about this, And yeah, it's probably controlled opposition. Many teachers out there, even the scripts, they say, be aware of fake gurus and fake teachers. And then, like somehow the divine source or inside of me, I got my inner calling that I have to know, put this information out. I actually never wanted to go online. I never wanted to show myself, or I wasn't feeling it. I wanted to stay anonymous. I wanted to stay in my own zone. I wanted to follow my own journey. But then somehow this deep calling, I couldn't put it away anymore. It was so deep inside of me, and it told me, you have to go and do this now. So then I created the YouTube, I created the Instagram and everything, and now I'm putting, since 1 year, only constant information out for people that they become aware, of these topics, because for me, they touch me so much, because they are the efficient, direct path for your sovereignty, for your holistic integrity, for your alignment on all levels, on all your bodies, because you can't cheat yourself. If you want to live pranic, then you have to be so truthful to yourself, to all your bodies, mentally, emotional, physical, that you that you have to live in balance. You can't skip, you can't cheat, no single step. And that is why I love this path. That is why I'm so passionate about it, because you can't cheat yourself. And for me, this is just such a efficient, direct path to yourself, to your freedom. And then, when the corona and stuff came, I was asking myself, how can I be free of all of this? How can I be sovereign of like all of this? And then the food stuff came, right? Like I listened to one of your videos, Roberto, and you said, why do people go to jobs? Because they earn money only because to get the food. So it's a cycle, it's a loop, it's a vicious cycle. It's a trap. Even housing, jobs, food, liquids, everything. And when you realize, like, if you truly want freedom in your life, then these answers, then these topics come into your life: immortality, breatharianism, unlimited potential, remote viewing, telekinesis, telepathy, and so on and so forth. These are natural abilities and natural like your soul is actually pulling you towards these topics because you are yearning for the freedom, for the total freedom, not for some half-assed freedom. You are yearning for your total freedom, and you want to break the loops. And this is how many topics came together, Roberto.
Yeah, this is very important. You mentioned something very important about sovereignty. If you want to be sovereign, the sovereignty is not something that you are going to ask for the government or anything else. It's something that we have to take by our own. It's something that you have to project with your coherence and start to live free. And the first liberation that you have to achieve is no eat, no drink, no fornication, and also stop to steal your own energy doing these stupid things that you just mentioned. So I want to share you something that about Matrix, no? So if Matrix uses our energy, our own energy, in order to sustain and project this fake reality, so it's logical to think that the things that is sustaining and creating our physical body, our avatar, is not food, but the energy of our own spirit. And also, I want to share you another concept of love in Spanish. I think you know a little bit of Spanish because you went here. Love in Spanish is amor, and amor comes from the real word. You just mentioned a very crucial word that you say immortality, but it's not the correct way to say it because in is introduce. So when you say immortality, you are projecting something that you want to introduce death inside of you. So it is not correct. The correct is amortality, because amort means a or a means without. El mort in Latin is muerte, is death. So amor is no death. So it's the correct way to say I am a mortal being, a mortality.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and also we have to correct our languages because we are creating spelling is difficult to speak with these modern languages, but in certain way we have to be aware of this and change the way to express, and this is the more correct way to express immortality. We are not immortals, we are immortal. That's why all the kind of religions and cultures, they preach the amor, because they are telling us that we are immortals. This is not something like metaphorical way. No, it's very physical way. It's something that we can start to practice and also project in our reality. Of course, if you can die by an accident, I don't know, an example like by shooting with a gun or cutting your veins being hit by a car, something like that. No, you see, an accident, you can die. But Otherwise, the natural death doesn't exist also. We can see nature. A tree can live forever unless you cut it or burn it or something like that. Otherwise, the tree is immortal also. We have trees here in our planet that they had been here for millenniums, and it's proven. So also we can be here as much as we want and also as much as we need in order not to be here, because this is a matrix. This is a virtual reality. This is not our home. So that's why the first thing that we have to realize, that we are just here in order to play, because this is a video game. So the problem is that we have forgotten the rules, the indications how to play this video game. Of course, the system is part of this trap, and they are trying to deceive us all the time. But now, for me, it's very important that realize that we are immortals, and also we can remain here as much as we want, because we need a lot of time. Of course, now in this moment, I think it's going to be shorter, because now the frequency of this reality is accelerating every time. No? We can see that now we just have left 3 months more to end this year. No, it's running the time very fast, and faster and faster. So, but I realized that we have to be here in order to escape from this reality, but we need more time, because 100 years is not enough. And also, living in this modern time is going to be difficult, more difficult, because we are surrounded by a lot of radio frequencies that they are creating more density, and they are anchors to this density. And also we are consuming a lot of poisons, and we are surrounded of poisons, a lot of poisons in this planet in these modern times. We are surrounded by plastic life. Everything is surrounded by plastic, and also made of oil and petrols, like the you mentioned some kind of products like soaps and shampoos, and even your brush teeth is poison, because it's made of microplastics. Your clothes also, because the clothes is now, most of the clothes are made of nylon or polyester, something like that. This is poison for your, especially for your electric magnetic field, because this kind of products is causing electrostatic, and they are affecting our flow of our electromagnetic field. And that's another thing that we have to realize, that we are poisoning ourselves, not just by eating, but the things we have to realize, that we are affecting with all the things that we are doing, and the things that we are surrounded with, and also with the radio frequencies, Wi-Fi, cell phones, um, everything. No, that now we're in the modern times. So that is very important. That's why we have to keep our avatar clean. And you mentioned something very cool, that for me, the first thing that the beginning of this path is to start to clean our body. And that's for me, in my experience for many years. So the success of this autonomous and self-sustainable life is the depuration and detoxification of our body first, because otherwise we don't need to get to this, because it's now in the modern time, is people is telling that, oh, we have to get to the pranic life again. No, we are already pranics, because we living, because we are breathing. We are living because the prana, in the Tatar tradition, prana, we call it a heyot or tleyot. That means the essence of the air, the element of the air, because every element here is electricity, sound, and magnetism in different manifestations. But the source of everything is sound, and sound creates a magnetic field, and a magnetic field creates an electric field. So these three things is going to manifest in frequencies and in energy. So if you know about sound frequencies, magnetism, electricity, and energy, you're going to start how to play better in this simulator, because this is a simulator in a simulation. So that's why I told you, I think living 100 years, and also now more the people, is very hard to get to 100 years because they are dying at 70 or 80, because they are intoxicating their body very fast with this modern alimentary system, or this diet. Also, an anagram of diet. I'm going to share you this diet. If you eliminate tea, what word we're going to have?
Yeah, die, yeah.
Die. So this is very important to realize that we are dying and aging because we are eating and drinking. So for me, that's why if you read the Bible and other kind of old text, you're going to find a lot of characters that they lived in this simulation about 900 years or millenniums, because they need this time to achieve this self transformation in order to uh, transform your avatar in a subtle level. So change your frequency, is turn carbon into silicon again. This transformation in our Toltec tradition we call the path of Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl means the feather serpent, or the feather snake, because every snake is representing in every culture around the planet a sine wave. That's why the Bible said we were born in sin. Sin is an anagram of sine wave, because everything is represented in this sine wave. The transversal wave that is going to decay and is dual, positive, negative. That's why electricity is positive, negative. Everything has dual system. And the thing is, get rid of or escape from that dual system in order to return to unity again. So that's why we can be here the time as much we need in order to change that frequency, to change your avatar in a higher frequency and turn it into a subtle um, energy. But we can't escape from this, or also we can project a better projection, or a projection in coherence, if we are full of parasites, especially fungus, larvae, worms, and also mucus, toxins, and shed. If you're in your intestine, your gut is full of shed, you're going to be very heavy. Your frequencies are going to be very in interference, because this kind of beings that are living inside of you are sending electromagnetic impulses by the gut controls your brain, because it's connected with your nervous vague, and it's sending electricity. So that's why they are telling you that they want to be fed, they want to eat, they want to drink, they want to fuck, they want to feel adrenaline. But it's not you. It's not our own beings. We have been manipulated from these beings, that they want to live inside of you, and you are like a zombie. You said before, we are acting like zombies, but this is not our true nature. So that's why the thing of this is to gain more time. Actually, time doesn't exist at all, but in this construct, with it's not going to be enough the time that we're living now, if we want to escape from this uh, illusory holographic system. So for me, it's very important that recover our sovereignty, but changing our lifestyle at the 180 degrees, and be aware that we are self-sustainable. But the first thing is that we have to start to recover our health, because every revolution begins with health. If you are not healthy, you're not going to have vitality. You don't have to be clear mind, because clear body or clean body, clear mind. So the first thing is get rid of all your fucking parasites that are controlling you, and realize that we are very powerful beings. You mentioned something very important. We have to remember and recover, because this is not something new. We used to be like that in the past, not a further past. I'm talking about 200 years ago, I think so. Remember that we can project in this reality telepathy, teletransportation that you mentioned, biocollocation, extraocular vision, whatever you want. And also, I think we can also fly. Why not? Like Neo in Matrix. At the moment that he realized that he can transform his life, and that and he realized that he's in the matrix, that you can project whatever you want. He started to fly. So the thing is that we are very high indoctrinated by bullshit and lies, and also limited thoughts, that now you can do that, you can do that, this is that. No, but because we are believing, because we are very high intoxicated, and also we are living in a very dense reality. At the moment that we are going to realize or release our own energy, that's the moment that we are going to start to achieve those things that the system told us that is supernatural, but no, it's natural in ourselves. Now, I told you before, we are already pranics, because we the breath of life. That's actually the word spirit comes from spira in Latin. Spira is inspirar, inspiration is to breathe. So that's the real food that is called prana, or called. And silic is, for me, the prana is made of silicon, and also electricity, but another kind of electricity, not the basic electricity that we have in our houses. No, it's an electricity that is called electricity. And it's going to spread this electricity by a scalar energy, in a scalar wave. And also it's not transmitting in transversal wave, but it's transmitted in a radiant wave, in a longitudinal wave. It's different. It's radiation. It's like this. It's like the ripple effect. That's the energy that we're going to receive from the earth, grounding, of course, barefoot, and also from breathing in a good environment, not in the city, of course. That energy is producing ourselves all the time, because we are batteries. We are bio batteries. We don't need to eat at all. We have to recharge ourselves. And also the battery of our system is the melanin, and the real word of melanin is melody, because I told you before, the source of everything is sound. So that's why we call our body organism, because it's like an organ. It's playing music. We are playing. This is a symphony, an universal symphony. Actually, the word universe comes from one verse. The verse, one word. Word is sound. So that's why we have to realize that the battery of our uh, organism is the melody, is the melanin, is containing the melanin. Actually, the original human is the black one. Now the whites, we are the least powerful beings. Now we are different. It's changing everything, because we are mixing together. We are getting stronger, but it's very clear to see that the black people are the strongest, and also they are the best are musicians, the best sport in the sports and everything. No, of course, now in the planet we are the same parasitic life, and you can see black people very high parasite in the parasitic life. But the magic of that people is they have a lot of melanin, and the melanin is going to make you stronger. And also we have a lot of melanin, but we are losing the power of our melody and melanin, because we are full of parasites and mucus and toxins. And there are two main things that the melanin needs to, in order to work in a properly way. Needs clean water, rushing water, clean water, and the right temperature, because this is the alchemy of life: water and heat. When we combine them, we're going to get a third force, that is steam. And steam is lighter, it's a synthesis of these two elements. And the steam, the vapor, is going to be lighter and is going to ascend because the frequency is different. And our body is the same. We are 100% water in the four states of matter. The first state of matter is plasma. We are made of plasma. Then we are made of in the gas, liquid, and solid. The four states of water. We are 100% water. But this water needs to be clear, clean, and rushing water without any blocking our veins or arteries. And it has to be in the right temperature also, because our bodies has a temperature. I don't know in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius is like a 36 or 37 Celsius. And that's the correct homeostasis level that our body needs to maintain and create more fine energy. Because at the moment that we have these two elements in balance, we're going to create this steam or this vapor. And this vapor in our body is hydrogen, because we are living by the hydrogen. There are two elements of life: nitrogen, because air is nitrogen, it's not oxygen. 80% of the air is nitrogen, and then hydrogen. And the elements of death is hot oxygen and carbon, because we are carbonized our lives. We are crystal beings. That's why another allegory of Christos, of Christ, is crystal, because we are made of crystals, because we are made of minerals. And the minerals are conducting energy. That's why if you try or test your how do you say this? Your sweat. Is salty, but it's not salt, regular salt. It's made of all the minerals of the periodic table, because we are made of seawater. Seawater is plasma, and also is made of crystals, because the seawater is a quartz, it's liquid quartz, and it's made of everything. That's and also like something, because we are bio technology body made of crystals. This avatar is also artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is made of circuits, magnetism, electricity, carbon, and crystals. So every device in our modern times is made of the same. Also, our phones, our computers, TVs need something very special in order to work well. It's quartz, silicon base. That's why we have in United States Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley is the place that these huge corporations called Microsoft, Apple, they have their headquarters there. They're telling us in our faces, Silicon Valley, because everything is made of crystal. But this crystal starts to carbonize in the way that we are living. We are carbonizing our crystal, and the crystal produces some energy by piezoelectric movements. Piezoelectric is something that you produce friction or a mechanical stress. The crystal is going to start to resonate and change its frequency in order to create energy. That's why we have to step the ground barefoot and walk. And I said walk, don't run, because running is something very stupid, because you are hyperventilation your system, and hyperventilation is going to harm your heartbeat, and the heartbeat is going to affect your blood pressure, because air is everything. So walking is very healthy and also is necessary in order to activate mechanically this piezoelectric function. So that's why we are self-sustainable beings. It's not a theory, it's something proven, it's science, pure science. But now we are explaining here how to work. So that's why we have to charge our body, not to feed them with food, with toxic food. Also, all food is toxic. Of course, we have less and more toxic. The least toxic are fruits, and then it's going to rise. In the worst food that you can intake is corpses, is meat. All kind of meat is death. So this is the lowest vibration that you can eat, because you are taking in your system a piece of dead animal. Death only brings death. So if you in the contrary, fruit is electric food. Fruits is electric food, because it's a package of light and structured water. We are water, but we have to realize what kind of water. It's not simple H2O. It's plasmatic structured water made of crystals, because it has the right minerals in order to conduct this sound, magnetism, and electricity, the right ones with the right voltages. So for me, the real thing of this, and the real element of life in our system, is hydrogen. I told you, and hydrogen is, you can measure hydrogen in the pH. That's why we have the pH levels, and we don't have to be neither alkaline or nor acidic. We have to be neutral. Actually, our blood is in the 7.4 in the table of pH level, that goes from 0 to 14. We are in the center, in the middle. Also, in the Toltec tradition, we have this beautiful knowledge that they say, part of these principles in the Toltec tradition, they say center, equilibrium, and fluidity. And the first thing, you have to return to the center. When you are in the center, you're going to get equilibrium. As soon as you get equilibrium in your life, is going to flow everything. So that's why it's the same in the alchemy, in the chemistry, and everything in our life. We have to return to the center, in the balance. So that's why we have to return to keep our pH in the center. And also
cool.
our ego. Yes,
It's so cool to the equilibrium in the center, what you just said, because the moment you can see, like, this alkaline movement, right? Like, everyone wants to be alkaline.
Good point.
Dr. Sebi, I'm an alkalizer, whatever, but this is just going from one extreme to the other and balancing your overacidosis from long decades of consumption out. But then you actually have to remove that lifestyle of alkalinity as well, and actually go back to your neutral state of life. And you can see, when, for example, you eat fruits or sweets, then you want to balance it with salty stuff. When you go salty, you want to go to fruits. There's a constant. That's why you can see already with the fruits, it's also not the end game. It will not be the end game, because you still see that your body naturally wants to balance itself out again. It's really interesting that people, it's like, somehow the people are so used to being bipolar, like in a kind of way, bipolar and schizophrenic nearly, like, but bipolar more like to the extremes. From the pendulum of life, they are only going to the extremes, but they are not staying in the center, and they always want to be alkaline or acidic, alkaline, acidic, alkaline, acidic. But you have to come to realize that you want to eliminate all of this and completely be neutral, like, it's it's a very beautiful that's why the pranic lifestyle, for example, if you have emotions which are angry, bitter, overly sad, caught up in frustration or something, then you get also from your pendulum swing, you get acidic, or you get, like, that's why
Yeah.
you can't cheat your emotions. You have to be so home at yourself, like with yourself, that you see in everyday life, like even now, even today, when you have an interaction with somebody, you will taste it in your urine if you have become angry, frustrated, or something else. And then you can see, oh, I'm not in my pendulum, I'm not in my center, I swing too much left or too much right. And the pranic lifestyle is all about that balance, which the Toltec system as well says, like what you just described. It's perfectly matching, so aligning.
Yeah, and also this is very important to talk about the alkaline system. Now is necessary because we are eating a lot of acidic food. So that this is another. I told you everything is frequency. So this acidic food has kind of wave. So we come to put the contrary wave that is alkaline in order to neutral both, because they when they both waves um, get each other at some point, they crash. So they're going to eliminate them. They're going to create something different. That's why we are using alkaline food. But no, it's just to in order to clean your body. It's not for okay, I'm going to praise now and worship alkaline life like everybody's saying today. No, it's for this reason. It's just in order
Yes,
to contrast this sine wave. That's it. But
exactly.
yeah. So another thing is we have to now the to go back to our nature, and the first thing is to realize that we don't need food or drink at all because our body is made of water. Why do you need water if you are made of water? It's something stupid. Our body is producing endogenous water every time, and we can prove this every time that we practice a dry fasting. Because when you dry fasting, at some point you still uh, produce urine and you're peeing. Of course, when you are in a very high process, at some point you stop to piss anymore because you start to reabsorb your own liquids
Yeah,
in your
internal bladder
the
reabsorption
bladder.
mechanism from
Yeah,
pranajani. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. But this is the higher. These are like you said, the higher functions, which are when you are really highly accessing your body already. It's a later stage, but yes, definitely.
yeah, for sure. So as I told you, we don't have to get to to reach that level. We are already there. The things that we are get rid of toxins and everything. We are not lacking of vitamins or proteins or minerals. No, we are full of toxins. So that the point is now is not to the thing that we have to think in another way is not to how to feed ourselves. Now we have to focus our thoughts and energy in order to get rid of that toxins for detoxification of our bodies. Don't be worried about food anymore. So you have to concern about detoxify your body is gonna be better. Now is the point of that. So the first thing is to because our health begins in our gut. So you have to start to practice colonic or hydrocolonic techniques in order to cleanse your gut. Practicing enemas or going to a specialized clinic that they have a machine that they're going to cleanse your bowels with this machine with some pressure, and also start to change your lifestyle. Stop to intake the things that you know that is going to harm your system. You're going to lower your vibration and get rid of this toxic food. And the first thing is change your diet, vegan diet first, and raw vegan diet. And as you said before, and also start to practice fruit and juices fasting and urine therapy. And the things I practice and preach, there are only two medicines in this time, or forever, no? But in this time, we have to realize that we only have to, the real options that we have to start to practice and experience ourselves. That is two things: fasting and urine therapy. And also, it's for free. It's very easy to practice. So, of course, for me, the first way to do it, and the easiest way, is urine therapy, because urine therapy is very easy to practice, and you can do it whatever you want and whenever you want. The second one is a little more difficult, because you have to be honest with you and see and make an scanner of your toxic level that you are now, and start to practice fasting, starting with intermittent fasting. That's the first one. But for me, the first fasting that you have to practice is the chemical fasting. Get rid of those toxic products that you just mentioned before of your life. Don't eat processed food, packed food, canned food, and everything that is in the supermarket is poison. Don't go to a supermarket anymore. And then start to eliminate those products that are very harmful for our life, like soaps and everything that we are surrounded by, plastic, everything. Change your thing, your containers of made of plastic for crystal. And also, if you want to cook something sometime, change your pans made of aluminum or something like that with heavy metals for crystal. Crystal is good. Everything we have to come back to because I told you we are crystal beings. And then we have to start to practice not to eat at least 12 hours at the moment that you wake up, because actually all of us, we are practicing a dry fasting when we are sleeping 8 hours. So that extend that fast like 12 hours more. So if you are a beginner of this lifestyle, start to just make 2 meals per day, at noon, at 12 o'clock, and then at 6 p.m. Just 2 meals per day, and then 1 meal per day. And then you're going to start to practice more days or fasting. And the practice make the master. So don't rush also. But the first thing is you have to realize that we don't need food. That's the first thing, because if you are still thinking that you need vitamins, protein, and that kind of bullshit, it's going to be very difficult, because you are in the same paradigm. So escape from the paradigm of the diet. Diet doesn't exist. The perfect diet doesn't exist, because the perfect state of being is no eating, no drinking. And also stop to drink water, because also we don't need water, and heavy water is harmful for ourselves. Doesn't matter if it comes from a well or of a stream or whatever, the natural. No, because we are not we're designed to drink. We are not drinkers. If you see an animal, they have a tongue like this, they can drink like this. We cannot. So the only water that we can drink is comes from the fruits, because fruits, I told you, is a package of structure and plasmatic water, your urine. And if you want to make the transition, I recommend you to use distilled water. You have to eliminate the heavy metals and the heavy minerals of that water. That's the way that we're going to start this transition. And also, I want to share with you and with the other people and explain them how we are sustainable beings. And also, you have to realize that food is a drug. We are drug addicts. And also, we can see this at the moment. The first drug that we receive is from our mothers. At the moment that we put our lips in the breast, receiving milk, is the first time that we are going to be parasites and start to be addicted, because women had been programmed that they have to feed to feed their children. And at the first moment say, okay, it's logical because they produces milk, but we have been studied that also is psychological, and it's a program, because we have seen men produce milk also. So they say, why? And also, I just want to I invite you that you observe. In the Toltec tradition, we call this stalking, like a jaguar is stalking. Stalk yourself because it's an allegory that you have to observe your inner vision and then observe everything, the reactions. So if we observe when a baby is feeding with human milk, at the first sight, you're going to say, okay, it's logical, it's natural, it's okay. But something in the reaction is different, because the reaction of every baby is burping, is farting, and vomiting their own natural food. And you say, what? Why? Because it's rejecting the milk. So that's the first moment that to eating is a habit created by our mothers and then our society and families, whatever, that creates addiction. And then the addiction is going to create emotional state, because when we are adults, we're going to actually, hunger doesn't exist. Hunger is a pathological impulse, because I told you the parasites they are going to ask for food. So, and also is an abstinence syndrome, because you are not eating. So it's like it's the same reaction as a drug. People that alcohol, an example, when you stop to drink alcohol, you're going to be in this abstinence syndrome, and you're going to desire more because you need more drug. So the food is the same. But we the way that the parasites are controlling us is producing emotions. Emotions comes from the toxins. Toxins is equal emotion, because depends the poison that is running through your veins is going to create a behavior in yourself. So we are eating because we are very emotional now, because you say, okay, I'm going to eat this soup because it's going to reminds me my grandmother. Oh, I remember. Or I don't know, in Germany, I'm drink beer because I'm German. Yeah, and as a Mexican, oh, I'm going to eat tequila because I'm Mexican and I have to drink tequila. Or I'm going to eat tacos because I'm Mexican. Or in Spain, I'm going to eat paella because I'm proud to be Spanish. Bullshit. It's just emotional thing, because you are very high intoxicated, and the toxins is going to create emotions. And emotion means energy in motion. What kind of energy is moving? Electricity, but not in a balanced way. It's creating high voltages that is burning ourselves like this, and producing this kind of unbalanced energy in our system, creating and deforming the original sine wave inside of us. So how do you think about this, about this addiction? What do you, in your experience, what can you tell us about?
The addiction, I think it already starts from the parents, which will bring the children into the world. That's why, for me personally, this is a very important topic,
Yes.
parenting and children itself, because imagine if you are not cleansed up in yourself. They say that, for example, when a woman wants to receive, she should be at least have a 5 to 7 year period, actually 7 year period for the cycle of 7, to cleanse everything, to bring in a high electromagnetic, like to actually respect that highly electromagnetic space for birthing a soul into this plane. And but if you not cleansed, if you didn't cleanse up, and you are still indoctrinated with the idea that you need food from your older generations, then you link that thought in the neurons in your gut. Already they are speaking to your child. They're only speaking to your child like, you know, like we are used to do this and this, and your baby gets like, it's like already feeling home where it's in the womb, right? It's already trying to feel home, like feeling comfortable, and the neurons already talk to the baby like, here, this is what you will be prepared, like when you come out, this will happen, you know. So I think personally this is already where it starts. It's already starting with the transgenerational preparation, planning of a baby, and so on and so forth. But now, when like when this is, for me, this is really like the ground level, the fundament. And your parents, or actually everyone who thinks about having children, it's actually not the time for children right now. It's actually really not the time for children right now. And I mean, you have a free choice, free will. I'm not condemning it or whatever. You know, it's your life and your choice. But in the end, you have to imagine, like, if you having children and you didn't sort out yourself, you bring your child and burden it with your karmic, all your stuff, everything. And it's actually you are birthing yourself into this world again, and you put so much attention, so much concentration, instead of actually first aligning yourself, balancing yourself, focusing on that center of heart. You are directly fragmenting yourself, your DNA, into someone else, and then all the attention is very much like into your child, you know, like it's like nobody wants to talk about this, but it's really important, because these are loops and these are programs. Marry and reproduce, marry and reproduce, marry and reproduce. Why? If you are a child yourself, if you are immortal,
Mortal.
if you are immortal, then you have the ability to live, first of all, in true excitement, in your innocence of your soul's spark, for such a long time. Like, where does that idea come from, that you are directly like creating a child? Where does that idea come from? I know it's not from you. It's 100% not from you. Like, when I see people in my like time and they have children, you know, I can see it was not their idea. The program kicked in like you know, like a radio station transmission. Somehow it clicked, you know, and it went through you. You know, like it could have happened to all of us. Like, I'm like, you know, like I'm grateful that it didn't happen to me. You know, like I was always taking care of that. But it's still, the chance is still there that it could happen also to you. So like this is a topic which has very many facets. So transgenerational trauma, how cleans how clean or pure is your inner space, then understanding all the fucking programs from the outside world. When your child gets actually out, then if you, like what you said, right, the breastfeeding, instead of actually releasing the emotions naturally with the breath, no, you're feeding them directly with the breast milk, and then your baby already has the first replace mechanism kicked in, and then you program it, conditioning, like you said. Then they vomit later with 3 or 4 years. When they eat cooked food, they vomit, they're getting sick, and then they say, oh yeah, this is all natural. No, fucking not natural. It's not natural, and it's actually very harmful for your child. And now you put him into the process of anti-breatharianism, back into full reverse. Like, it's crazy. And you know, if you honor yourself, if you honor your children, if you honor your bloodline, if you honor your DNA, your soul, or whatever, then you truly have to think about all the stuff, you know. And I'm not saying here, hey, I'm perfect or whatever, you know. Like, we all have our stuff which we work on, which we try to align and balance. But this is just one very important topic, you know, because Yeah. What do you feel about it, Roberto, with the children and the birthing and stuff? It's not an easy topic. Oh, I think, yeah. No, I can't hear you. No? Try again, or like something with the audio. So, but anyway, I'm just continuing. Everything can be used for realization or distraction. So I'm not saying here, hey, this is fucking bad and it will drag you down to hell. No. If you have children and if your soul made that decision, then use it for realization. They can be an incredible, powerful assistance for you and you for them to actually accelerate your growth. But then become aware of these topics, because otherwise you are just creating more loops again for yourself. I'm just checking now, like, Roberto, now you're back. Okay, what do you feel about the children and the birthing? Because it's not an easy topic sometimes to talk about, you know? What do you feel about it?
About what? Sorry?
About the birthing, the children, the fragmentation. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, so, it's very clear. It's just a program. Remember,
Yeah.
we are living in a matrix that everything is made of algorithms and programs, and the mind is for me is the highest hacker that we have been. Actually, in the Toltec tradition, they say the predator gave us its mind in order to make us play its game. So everything is a program. I told you the women is the first program because they are the portal that they open the gates to brings more beings into this reality. That's why they have been programmed with the program of sustain life by food. That's why they have. It's very uh, it's kind of difficult to convince women that they don't need to feed their babies because they say no, it's natural, it's my baby. Emotion, I told you, emotion, a parasite. So the first thing that we have been programmed, and we are very hard parasite. And how we can prove this? Very easy. In Mexico City, in the year of 1985, like almost 40 years ago, we had a very big earthquake in Mexico City. A lot of buildings fall down and was a big mass and with mess and a very catastrophe. I remember that in news we have a very special news about that because they found like almost 10 babies in a hospital. And when I say babies, I think the oldest baby was 1 year of life, 1 year. So the other babies months of years, and they survive almost a month among the the rocks and everything of the buildings without any food and any water at all. And the news say, oh, miracles, these babies survive without almost a month with no food and drink and whatever. No, but it's not a miracle, and that's the proof that we can live. We are autonomous and self-sufficient beings. And for me, there is something to consider here, that they survive because they didn't have their mothers close, because the mother is going. We have to realize that human beings, we are part of our mothers from 0 to 3 years old. We are, because we are crystals, we are resonating in the same at the same frequency of our mothers. We are our mothers from 0 to 3 years. 3 years. So the things that our mother is thinking and projecting, it is going to reflect in our thoughts and our resonance state. So if our mothers has the program of fear and emotions or whatever, we're going to project that. So that's why these babies can survive without their mothers, because they didn't have closed their frequency of the mother with these concerns and worries and think of things that, oh, I need to feed my baby, blah blah blah. No. So that's the proof that we can survive when we don't have programs, very dangerous programs, very close to us. These kind of resonating waves, negative, of these deceives and bullshit things that we have been programmed.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and also we have to remember when we were kids, we never wanted to eat at all. They force us to eat, and they say, come, yeah, we were playing outside, yeah, come to eat because now it's time to eat, it's dinner time, it's lunchtime, whatever. No, we don't have, we can, we want to still playing, come on, no, come here, it's now, I don't have time for you, come here
Eat.
and sit.
Yeah, eat. You are starving. You are starving. You need your food. You need your vitamins, and like all the bullshit programs start.
Yeah,
You know, like
they're going to start to take us in this fear state of resonance,
yeah,
because they're going to telling us, okay, if you don't eat, you're not going to grow up healthy, you're going to get sick, you're going to also, you can die, please sit here and eat all the things I'm going to give you, eat chicken and vegetables and cook food
yeah,
and toxic food, and no, I don't like it, I don't like it. I remember
yeah,
when I was kid, they forced me to eat only if I had ketchup, because ketchup is sweet. So they give me chicken, and I hate chicken. Say, okay, put a little bit of ketchup. Okay, that is good. So they try to trick us, our mind, in order
mm,
to force us to this addiction. So it's the
yeah,
same thing. So this is the biggest proof that we have that we never wanted to eat when we were kids. We want to,
yeah,
and also we play with food. Remember when you were kid, you throw away the food and yeah, because it's not, it was made for eating. So this is another proof, and also this program, the very detailed program, that we have to get rid of those programs and remember of the original way that this system designed for us.
yeah. Absolutely. You know, like in it's like it's a really it's a process which is so individual, because everyone has their own history, their own unique individual soul path, that there is no fucking recipe for you. There are only tools, and you have to know where you are, and you have to start from somewhere. Like, actually, you know the story where this, I don't know, I think it was a very fat Mexican guy. He was over 300 kilo or something, and he, I don't know, like he, like dry fasting, right? Breaks the cells, and then you have perfect water, right? Perfect endogenous water. And he was not eating and drinking, only fasting, dry fasting for I think 1 year, and he always had perfect water from the fat cells broken down.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely incredible. It makes sense, right? And so
Yeah.
when people have a very toxic system, then actually they don't have to think about where do I get my water from. You have many fat cells, and they break down, and then you have perfect structured pure water coming from your fat cells broken down. You know, like it's incredible. Yeah, and then you use urine therapy, right? And people ask always like, like like all these tools for parasites. Oh, use this, use papaya seeds, use that, use that. No,
Yeah.
it will not help you. This will, like, the parasites are so intelligent that they are infested in all your areas of, like, all your organs. And if you use papaya, they checked, like, in science, they checked that if you use, for example, papaya seeds, they only tackle one species, but then there
Yeah.
are 100 other species which are not at all attacked by papaya seeds. So use all your tools, they will not help. And I tell you, like, if you still eat and drink, you will always have parasites, because then you are a parasite yourself. Take full responsibility for your life, for creation, and then stop being a parasite, and then you enter your paradise. Parasite paradise. It's an interesting
Cool.
word also.
Yeah, cool. And also, there is very interesting because we talking about parasites, but human beings also are parasites. Parasites is something, a being that is living from another being. So we are complaining about parasites, but we are living in this lifestyle like as a parasite. So that's why you have to be aware of that and change that, and start to be responsible. Actually, in the Toltec tradition, this is the first thing that you learn, to be responsible. Get rid of that state of victim. We, of course, we have been victims of the system, but now as adults, it's our responsibility to change that, because now we are be aware of that. So at the moment that you start to realize how works, is the moment that you have to achieve that, and start to um, change that. It's your responsibility now. That now we have a lot of information. We are in the age of information. This is the age of with one click in your phone and whatever, you can get a lot of information. But the problem is we have a lot of information, but a little practiced, very few practice. So now change that. Start, okay, get the information and get outside of the ignorant state, and start to vibrate in the resonant, in the cognitive resonance, instead of the dissonance cognitive. You know, change the state of cognitive and the resonance cognitive, and observe yourself. We don't ask you that to believe us. And also, we are not inventing something like, oh, we are inventing that we don't need to eat it. No, this is not radical. Radical is the lifestyle that you are practicing life now. So for me, it's very incredible that even following the lifestyle that the modern human lives are living, it's incredible that you still be alive. No, and also at the
Yeah.
contrary, on the contrary, when you fast, you practice urine therapy, you're going to get more energy, you're going to heal everything in your body. And the contrary, when you eat, and when you eat, you're stealing energy, and you're aging. This is very important. And also, you are getting sick. And on the contrary, when you fast, you have more energy, and also you're going to heal all your problems. So that's the real proof. This is not a theory. So we have to first also remember in Latin is is again, uh, comes from remember, comes from recordar. In Spanish we say recordar, recordis, cordis, corazón. So remember is go back to your heart. This is the knowledge, the real knowledge, not here. The mind is the trap. Mind is dual, and also is the biggest hacker that we have in this reality. So escape from that and go back to your heart. Your essence is here, and you can achieve that if you are full of shit.
And Roberto, like this is something important also to mention, because like all of you who are here now and came to these conclusions, you know, like you learned all, unlearned everything, distilling everything, removing everything, shedding everything, and then ultimately you have to even, like, the addiction of consumption of mind material, you have to let go as well. You can't be just another intellectual mind fucker like till the rest of your life, even after, like, you know, everything is beautiful. All these ancient scripts, texts, and philosophies and everything, all is beautiful. But ultimately, even that, it's not. You have to let go. Even that, like, you have to truly become your master, and you have a unique soul imprint, and your your soul's chant is not like imitatable. Like you can't find it in any text. You can't find it in a book. You have to really. It's a total return to yourself, and then letting go everything. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, and also you have to be aware that you told before, this is an individual path, because we have different levels of toxification. So don't rush, please. Be aware that you want to get there, but step by step. Don't rush it, because if you do something very quickly, it's going to be more harmful for you, because you have first to know how to detoxify your body step by step. Please don't be radical like that, because otherwise, you told us before, the parasites are very intelligent. So we have to be more intelligent than them, and be smarter, and start to clean our body step by step. And I recommend also practice saunas, to sweat a lot, because sweating, the biggest organ that we have in our body is our skin. So by sweating, we're going to eliminate a lot of toxins, and also with heat, we're going to kill parasites. So that's why the ancient traditions practice saunas around the planet. In the Toltec tradition, we have created the temazcal. The temazcali is a sweat lodge, natural sweat lodge, where we enter there, and in order to sweat, and also is very cool because it's dark, because we are recreating the uterus of our mother's womb, because it's the same conditions. Is wet, is dark, and also is húmedo. I forgot the other one. Es en Spanish, húmedo, oscuro, and warm, wet, and dark. So there, when you enter, as the moment you enter inside of the temazcali, you're going to remember that you're going to fertilize yourself inside. It's a very important process, that you remember how at the moment you enter the temazcali, you're going to the mission to die there, but metaphorical die, to kill the parasite that you used to be. So every moment that you enter at the temazcali, you are with the mission that to kill the parasite that you used to be, using the mind. Because at the moment you enter the temazcali, at the sauna, your mind is going to remains outside, because you enter with your heart. And then in the darkness, you're going to embrace darkness and the heat. The only thing that you have left to do is go inside of you. So remember, the exit is inside, not outside. But the new mission of these modern humans now is to remember, go back to your heart, and also recover our sovereignty and our real powers again. And also, if you get rid of the addiction of and the for food, and also for external stimulus, it's gonna be more fun play in this video game, because now you're going to project in this holographic realm everything that you want. It's gonna be, for me, it's gonna be more fun, because in the way that we are living is very complicated. It's very fucked. Actually, the system is fucked. It's hard to live in this matrix, because we need to get a lot of things, food, house, whatever. No, materialism, because matter is necessary, because we are in a material world. But materialism is not necessary. If you need a car, why not? But you just need one car, not 2 or 3 or 4. You need a house to be comfortable. Okay, you need a tiny house, just like that, not a mansion or a castle, something stupid things that, okay, more is better. No, with less is gonna be, you're gonna be lighter, and you're going to manage into this reality, this simulation better. So for me, get rid of the addiction for food and drink is going to be the first thing that we have to achieve and accomplish that mission. But I told you, step by step, don't rush it. The thing that we are informing this is because we have to remember that we used to be like that. So the things is, go back to that and empty yourself from all that bullshit that the system have indoctrinated you, and feel with the old, because the old is the original way to live, not the new, because the new is bullshit. The old thing that our ancestors in this planet, the Toltecs, the Senians, the Incas, the Indians, the Chinese, whatever, also the Catars in Europe, they used to live like this. It's not new. So that's, I always tell the people, empty yourself from the new things, the new programs, in order to fill up again with the old programs. Of course, update, because we have the different moments. But the first thing is to get out of the ignorance state, because the first thing, the first action that we have to do is to be aware again, the things that we are, the really, the true beings that we are. And then the force of will, because it's not enough to be aware, because a lot of people is aware that alcohol is bad and they don't care, they still drinking alcohol. I don't care. I know that smoke is bad, but I don't care. But it's not enough to be aware. Of course, it's the first step, get out of the ignorance state. But the second thing is the force of will. Do it, action from your heart, not from here. And then we can live here as much as we want, but in another way, to change the game. Now we are the game changers, but it's up to you. Don't wait for a messiah. Don't wait a politician, pseudo scientific guy. No, don't. And also the people from the New Age are waiting for the Pleiadians and the intraterrestrials, and now the fifth dimension, and now it's going to be Jesus and Buddha. Bullshit. That is bullshit. It's you. You are your own savior, your own master, your own everything is inside of you. What do you think about this, man?
Highly resonates, man. Everything.
Oh,
I don't know what I can add on this. You said it perfectly.
Yeah. So if you want to close this program, I want to share you a little bit of your lifestyle that you can share us, and also to give us an example, no, to people how to interest in this movement.
What I can share from my own life.
Yeah, for your lifestyle, how do you eat? How do you practice? What do you practice?
So, yeah. So at the moment, I'm interval dry fasting since 2 years, and it was like 16 hours for like approximately 16 hours every day. And now I'm just increasing like slowly and slowly. Like my body tells me automatically to go higher and higher, but it depends on my emotional state every day. So sometimes it can be a 14, a 15, but it's normally always a 16. But now recently, my body told me to go up higher, and now it's more 17, 18, 20. And then I go even into the sauna 4 hours and whatever, like all dry. And it's perfectly fine. I'm doing like sports like 3 hours around like every day also. And then you just see your potential, you just see your energy is increasing, you don't get sunburns anymore, and so on and so forth. Yeah. But anyway, so approximately 16 hours dry fast. So I would recommend you to dry fast from the interval to dry fast, because it's actually easier. Dry fasting is way easier than water fasting.
Yeah.
And then what I'm doing is 80% fruits, like mostly fruitarian, but then for the emotional warmth right now, I still take like zucchini or tomato and make a little like vegetable kind of mix, like I'm steaming or a little bit cooking, or mushrooms, zucchini, tomatoes at the moment, but they are all very liquidy. And like, I'm always looking at the food and seeing this goes through my intestines. When there's like too much, like if you look at bread, for example, and this goes through your intestines, oh my, like there's so much work. But it is a process, like don't rush yourself, like Roberto said. I still have my little up and downs, like
Yeah.
I'm still like very new into the process, and I'm just sharing my journey, so I'm not here a fucking perfect sage on the mountain. I also have my emotional cravings sometimes, and then I like have to breathe that and trying to feel the emotion. And when I'm crying, then I don't feel hunger anymore. So sometimes the emotion which wants to come through you, you have to wait a little bit, and you have to learn from all these little mistakes in your process, in your path. So what I'm doing, the 16-hour dry fast, right? Then the last liter of urine is the highest concentrated one, like from the dry fast, and then I'm drinking this. It flushes out my system. Then I'm taking a nice watermelon, mostly with some lemon juice, and eating a half of it, like a big one, half of it, and then just some grapes. At the moment, it's grape season. And then just I love tomatoes. I really love tomatoes. So in the evening, tomatoes or something, like, or the vegetables, something like this. And my little different taste is at the moment like some dates with some hazelnut cream, but 100% hazelnut. This is the last oily one, but I can see in my urine it's not really bad. So my urine is tasting sometimes like hazelnut. And so sometimes just I do more extensive dry fasting, so longer ones. I'm going weekly to the sauna for 2-3 hours, then a longer one. There's a spa here close to my village. Then movement, really like organic movement. Try to move your body. I'm a lot on the bike. I'm hiking a lot. Yoga, or more animalistic, or like more natural, intuitive movements, like acrobatic flow, kind of like stuff like this. Like Ido Portal, when you know him, like if you know him, like holistic movement patterns and stuff. And like every day just becoming more aware that you need less and less and less and less. Like recently, I completely stopped drinking any water. I'm only drinking the fruits and my urine. That's it. And actually, it's
Cool.
way easier now. It's much more easier now. Then 2 months ago, I left out now nearly like except the oil from the hazelnut cream, the 100% hazelnut cream. I leave out now all the salts, oils, and like fake sugars. And that actually helped me to reduce the cravings to such a high extent that I was really surprised. And I was like, wow, like this helps so much. So leave out all the garbage, like the sunflower oil and everything, like really leave it out. And you can see the less you eat, the less you are hungry, like the phantom hungry, and the less the parasites can actually attack and control you. And the parasites are so intelligent, like when you have an emotion and you want to actually cry, like an old energetic block comes out and it wants to be felt, they come in, they kick in, and they say, you should eat that, you should eat something more dense, you should eat like this and this and this will help you. So they have the perfect situational awareness, and they come in and they say, eat this, eat that, eat that, and
Yeah.
then you are back into reversal again instead of actually going forth. So take your time, take an hour, try to breathe, say like, what is it that I'm feeling? And every time I felt it, then afterwards the hunger is completely gone. It's very interesting.
And what is your longest fast that you have experienced in your
Up
life?
to 3 days dry, but 1 month juice fasting, and more juice fasting, like 10 days more regularly. But the longest dry fast was up to 3 days. So, but I told recently my Patreon members, I told them it's not about how long you can do the dry fast. Because right now you can see many people trying to stretch the line, like, 10 day, 20, 30, like, it's not about that. It's way more important that you don't force yourself on a fast. It should all come organically. And if your body tells you 2 day dry fast, organically, this is such a high this is a win, man. This is a win, way more than a 20-day dry fast forced. If your body tells you naturally to go like from 18 to 20 hour every day, that's the win. You want to go step by step by step, and it can take time, and you need the patience, and you need to have the discipline and to honor that organic process, and not like because someone made a 7-day dry fast that you want to do it as well. That's not what it is about, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point to share with us. And also, you can share us something about. I listened once from you that something about aging and we are timeless. No, can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Another
So
program.
it is. Yeah, exactly. Because what they call aging is first of all like the invention of time, you know, they invented time for you to wake up to a fake artificial clock and to actually work from to like a certain time for some money, which is it's all invented. It was all invented probably, I don't know, after the last like mud flood and the Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever, and then they indoctrinated. The Industrial Revolution was the new veil, the new illusion, and then the invention of time and everything actually trapped people into believing in aging and this timeline, like Darwinism and materialism and stuff. Like, oh yeah, we all stem from the monkey and everything, and you are only 60, 80, or before they lived only 40 years. You know, it's all bullshit. And that when this is indoctrinated in your head, and then you consume because you think it's natural, you clog up your system, your blood gets stagnate in stagnation and foul, and then you think you are actually dying, that dying is natural because you seeing the aging and the wrinkles and the aging symptoms, but these are only the degeneration symptoms. It's all an artificial degenerative death, but not the real death. The real death is actually the eternal non-dual emptiness to fullness. Right now, like if I look at Roberto, he's appearing all the time in micro multi-dimensional seconds, and me too on the screen. This is real death and birth, you know. This is the beautiful cycle of life, and this is truly what we should honor again, and not some fake shit habits which is causing an artificial death, and then you believe that you are not immortal, like immortal, but like the new term immortal, what Roberto said, that you are living from your heart forever here, and your physical vessel shows all evidence that it's actually rejuvenating itself all the time. Even science tells you already that you are can live forever all the time, but they are like, oh, we can't say this, we don't have the evidence. But looking at autophagy and looking at your microbiome and looking at the mitochondria, like the mitochondria is like producing endless energy for you always. And that's why even the solitarian or breatharian, I'm actually not buying into this. I'm actually buying into my own self-sustaining mitochondriac eternal generation of energy, you know. Okay, this was a long term, you know. But I mean, you are not again dependent on another thing. Breatharian, solitarian, the sun is the external sun from your sun, you know, like all the representation of your entire system. And I actually, you know, like the yogis who don't breathe, the breathless samadhis, do they need breathing to exist? No.
Yeah. So it's another deceiving thing, that breathing. No, this is, for me, this is the last way that we can achieve the avatar, the master avatar. At the moment that you stop to breathe, you're going to change your frequency. I realized that we have, this is the avatar levels. First, no food, no drink, no sleeping, and no breathing. And in that moment, you change your frequency, and you change from carbon to silicon, and you can escape from
Mm,
this.
beautiful, man. And imagine, Roberto, if we are like, like the mouth is closed, and then it's an internal breath. It's like someone like even if the mouth everything is closed, but it's like the imagination is nourishing you, like you're just like like the inside. It's not because people are so quick at shifting their programs to a new program, like you said, right? Like the breatharian program, then they go
Yeah.
into all these breathing boot camps, and like I did the same, like like all
Yeah.
this stuff like every fucking day. It's so exhausting. It's exhausting, and it's not effortless, and you will
Yeah.
not breathe correctly until your system is clean. You can breathe as much as you want, and actually urine is the best breathing exercise ever. If you have aged urine, it's so full of like oxygen, like you take it in, you like boom, breath work, 1 hour breath work with some aged urine. Damn.
Yes, it's plasma. We live in
Yeah.
by the plasma. No, it's made in the toroidal field, the plasma explosion there. This is very important also, that get rid of paradigm of time. In the moment that people
Mm,
start to ask for your age, you say, I'm timeless. Don't play in that game again, because you are decreting or you are projecting that you are
yes.
aging. And also, we are not aging because time. Actually, what is the time? Time doesn't exist. It's just a concept of matrix. But how we can perceive time? Because the movement of the astral realm, and especially the sun. Actually, in all Egypt, the sun was called Horus. That's why we have the word hours. Horus, hours, because the sun is the hour of the time. And
Mm,
also the movement of the stars and everything, the big cycle, everything. That's why we perceive time. Otherwise, there
yeah.
is no time. But how do you want to think that the movement of the sun, the stars, and moon is going to affect you, and it's going to age you? It's going to make you older. It's stupid. You are aging because you are fucking stealing your own energy by eating, by drinking, by fornicating. So don't be stupid, and don't and be don't responsible to say, I am aging because it's natural, because the movement of the stars are moving faster, and that's why we are aging. No, bullshit. It's because you are stealing your own energy, and also you are still in the participating in the paradigm of the celebrating your birthday. Actually, birth, it comes to the birth means something that in the straw man, the laws, the sea of the laws, the law of the sea, sorry, that we are playing in this another matrix. You know about this as the straw man thing, that the system had created another kind of you in order to play with you, because they can't touch you, because you are an essential spiritual being. That's why this system has created another double of you, and that double is that you have in your ID, in your passport, with the capital letters. This is a very extensive topic that we can speak later, but just an example that you are not that guy. That guy is part of the system. You don't need an identification to prove that you are a living being. This is a stupid thing. Oh,
Yeah.
please identify yourself. No, you are
Yeah.
looking at me stupid. I'm here. I don't need to prove myself with a fucking ID. Don't be stupid. And also, what I'm talking about, that birth means something that because they are treating us like a merchandise. That's why your name is in capital letters, because every merchandise comes, and also the corporations, in capital letters. So a berth is something when the ship arrives to the port, and they pay a berth, like tide your boat in the port. And it's the same thing. That's why the birthday is when you come from the waters from your mother's womb, in order to pay in this matrix your birthday. So you're paying that you are arriving in these stupid laws that comes from the admiralty laws, that comes from the sea, because the laws of the sea is merchandise. It's merchandising. It's something that you are uh, practicing currency, and that's what the current sea, the current of the sea, the money, everything. No, this is the fake system. So that's why when you celebrating your birthday, you are saying to the matrix, you are agree that you are here another year, and you are agree that you are aging. So that's why you have to stop celebrate birthday. This is a stupid thing. It's a program. Yeah, with my cake and blow your candles. That's another stupid thing, because you are putting out your own
Yes.
light.
Yes.
Entonces you have to stop to do that. And people ask me, so uh, when people ask me, when did you were born? No, I say I don't celebrate birthday. Well, what do you celebrate? I just celebrate the moment that I was born. And they ask me, when you were born? This morning. Because we are rebirthing every morning. Every
Yeah.
morning is an initiation.
Yeah.
Because when you go to sleep, you're gonna die. A little is the petite mort in France, the pequeña muerte. You're gonna die there, and then you're going to reborn in the morning. So that's why take this every day like a new initiation, like a refreshing, a new start. That's why in the Toltec tradition, because people in the system say, okay, live your life, every life, like it was your, like if were your last day. No, instead of that, think I'm going to live my every day like my first one, because I'm going to make a restart every day, getting rid of those programs and updating my information based in my experience. So that's another uh, trick and trap that we have to avoid, the trap of time. We are timeless, brothers and
Exactly.
sisters. We are fucking timeless.
And
Stop to live like that. Yes.
you can you know, like what I recently observed is that, like when I got asked, how young are you, and I didn't say, I said I'm timeless, immortal, amortal, or whatever
Immortal.
you want to say. Then they say, why this, and when I explain them, then they stop talking to me after 10 minutes, because you know what it means? It means to face yourself, to take so much responsibility that you want to live forever. And then they don't want to have this conversation, because they are lying to themselves with the victim mentality mindset from the collective egregorian consciousness, that, like, oh no, I don't want to take full responsibility for my creatorship, for this reality, so I'm not listening to you. I want to stop. So, like, some people asked me first very curiously, then they answered, and then they stopped talking, and they wanted to go, like, it's and then you can see it's a victim mindset. It's a death urge, like Leonard Orr explains it so well. He's like, the death urge is a transgenerational victim mentality. I don't know when it was created, in the dark Kali Yugas, in the dark times, in the cycles of times, when people lost themselves and then they adopted each other's mindset, the hive mind, and so on and so forth. We don't know, like, but in the end, this is your resurrection, actually. The Christ being, the silicon being, the crystal comes alive from, it's a resurrection. It's your
Yeah.
resurrection now. It's a birth
Sure.
of the new man. This is the crystal being.
Sure. That's very clear to see. That's the for me the goal to that is to be, become again in that crystal being. That's also we have to escape from transhumanism or the meta-human, because meta in ancient Arcadia or Hebrew, in ancient Hebrew, means death. That's why we have now in Facebook meta and this kind of words with meta. Metatron, no, this is another tron is vinculated with or getting close to the death. That's why it means Metatron. And also meta human is the human that is going to die. So you have to escape from that, from the transhumanism and the meta human. Now we have to be, and also escape from for the control of the collective hive mind, because the hive mind is controlling us like insects. That's why we are acting like automatas, like robots, stupid robots, with like zombies, and also sleepwalkers. I call them. Everybody is like in the metrics like sleepwalkers, and also a lot of people are like NPCs, no, in the video game. So the point is escape from that illusion and now reconnect yourself and remember that you are part of the highest consciousness. Consciousness is different than mind. The consciousness is come from the source. The mind comes from the matrix, from the illusion, from light. Light only is carrying data, information. That's why we have chakras and this kind of uh, phosphorus that they want to read us like a CD, like a DVD. That's why we have to clean our body because they are hacking us through heavy metals and parasites, and actually with graphene, because they can read our emotions. But more beyond that, they of course they can read us, but they know how we are going to react and how it's going to be our behavior, because the system had been programmed before. Those programs, first of all, the astrology program, because astrology is going to affect us for sure. The moment you were born, you're going to be programmed with the astrological program. Depends the time of the year, Cancer, Pisces, whatever. You're going to project that behavior, and after that, they're going to program by radio frequencies something that thoughts and behaviors that is not ours. That's why they don't need to read us, because they knew already, or they know already how we're going to react, because they have programmed that things by radio frequencies, and our body is going to capture those frequencies by the antennas. The DNA is our antenna, but the highest antenna is the emotional body, the mental body, and the mental body is not the brain. The brain is the antenna. It depends the things that you have inside of you, heavy metals and graphene. You're going to receive that, and imagine the favorite food of parasites are heavy metals. They love heavy metals. That's why we are full of fluor and chemtrails and aluminum, whatever, because they need that, and they are turn us into antennas, the living antennas, to
Exactly.
receive that. So that's the very high important to cleanse your system and get rid of those hackers in order to update with the real software. The real software is not the outside software, it's the inner software. It comes from the source, that you are the source. You are part of the source. You are fractal of the source. You are the source itself in a portion. So you don't have to come back to the source, because you are the source itself. But you forgotten. You have forgotten.
Roberto, I have just, like I had this image in my mind. Sorry, I'm jumping from the topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm going first into this one, and then I want to share this image with you. I have the proof in direct experience from a client. She was taking medicaments for 20 plus years, and the heavy metals of the medicaments are all inside her body. And when she sits in a room, she feels like the electromagnetic, like the electricity in her heavy metal residuals in her body, like when from like from all the radiation devices and everything, she feels them in her body because she accumulated so much heavy metals. And now imagine all the thoughts can be now conducted right into her heavy metal residuals, like someone like Sevan Boma explained it one time very nice. He said there's like an echelon, there's like a radio station. Normally, if you can see people, their aura and everything, you can see a subtle radio station with all the same programs, with all the same ideas, because it's all attached to their bodies. And yeah, I lost the point, but it's
You know, they are already the system erasing the information.
Yeah, exactly. Amnesia loop. But I wanted to share that image in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
I was, you know, why we are not dependent on breatharianism or like solitarianism? Because imagine if you have a residual self-image, they call it in Matrix, the residual self-image. It's a hologram. It's your avatar self or whatever, and you can
It's a
change.
projection. Yeah, progression. A projection of your real being.
Yes, exactly. And you can shapeshift it in any kind of way. And now imagine when you are like teleporting or re and demanifestation biolocation, you know, like how do you call it, Oris? The bio?
By your location. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That you can put your uh, like um, like your bits, like in a video game, right? These avatar into a different location, like you're just teleporting. So in the teleportation, when you can do that to your residual self image, where do you need the breath? Where do you need
Yeah.
the sun
The
to
sun.
survive?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We don't need anything. That's very important to realize that we don't need anything. Don't look outside the things that you have inside. This is the real message. And also, I told you, we have to remember and go back to the highest consciousness, the supra consciousness. And this is the information that you have to remember inside of your spirit. A spirit, remember, it means connection and also means be in the breath of life, in the breath of life inside of you. We don't need this the toxic poison called oxygen. I told you, oxygen is toxic. It's going to oxidize you. Remember, it's nitrogen. That's why our DNA is made of nitrogen. But whatever, that's not the point. The point is that the important thing is that you mentioned. We don't need anything. We start to realize and comprehend that we are very powerful beings. We are the source. Don't remember. That's why the system is playing with us, because they can force us to be here, to remain here, but they're going to trick us and deceive us all the time in order to maintain us here. But you can escape here. It's up to you. I told you the beautiful thing of this is the salvation is up to us. It's not depending of something outside. The point is that we have to remember and recover those powers again, and remember that we are living by sound. Everything is sound, magnetism, and electricity. If you eliminate these three things of your life, you're going to die like this. Actually, remember when in the Frankenstein story, how the Dr. Frankenstein bring alive the monster with electricity, with a shock, with a light. It's the same thing.
And Roberto, you just said the key and the answer actually to how we are truly nourished, and it's the eternal cosmic sound. And the sound is individual, like from your hardcore, you know,
Sure.
like from the invisible to the visible. This is when you truly listen to the cosmic sound internally, this is your nourishment. This is the nourishment, and it's internally self-sustaining because the
Yeah.
sound is never gone. It's always coming. Even people who like die physically or they leave their bodies,
Mhm.
the sound is still there. Their astral bodies and all the other layers are still there because the cosmic sound is not dead.
Yeah, that's another proof that the things that is maintaining our body is that sound, that frequency, and the energy of our spirit. Also, it's something proven that when somebody die, your body, the weight of your body is gonna be less, like 21 grams less, because something is now is out of you, the real force. So another proof that the that food is not energy, is not something that is going to keep or maintain us alive, is now when somebody is dying or already dead, try to give that body minerals, vitamins, proteins in order to uh, make it or make them alive again. It's impossible. Or another way, put the corpse of of that person exposed to the sun. It's not going to be alive again. It's something that's another proof that we don't need. Or another example, that corpse, uh, give it more air, it's not going to be alive again, because that's the proof that we don't need all that kind of bullshit to be alive. It's something different. It's something subtle, something superior. It's an energy that we don't comprehend well, but this part of this source that is made of sound, that you told you before, that produce magnetism and electricity. Another proof, people that is already to die, how in the medical environment, they bring them to life by electric impulses with this machine with electricity. That is another proof. They don't give it a shot with vitamins and proteins. No, this is stupid. They're going to use the real thing that keep us alive. That is sound, magnetism, and electricity. And also very important about talking about water. If we are water in the 4 states I told you before, we produce an electrolysis. This is the key of life, electrolysis. Electrolysis. What is electrolysis? It's a process that our body divide oxygen from hydrogen. And the hydrogen is the fuel of our body. I told you, is the real thing. Hydrogen is the pH. It depends, depending your pH is going to be your health and your life. So keep your pH in the middle, neutral, and with the high energy. So that's producing a high quality of electrolysis. And also we need electrolysis. And electrolysis, we can find them in our indigenous life, in the indigenous water. So that electrolysis is made of crystals, minerals that our body, own body produces. Of course, in this state that we are, we need, we need it in order to help the body to cleanse. And we can find those electrolytes in coconut water, in fruits, in seawater sometimes, but not for nourishment. I told you, nourishment is a deception. It's only for help body to, because our body needs help now. It's very high intoxicated that we need to give a hand in order to eliminate those toxins. We are using that kind of food or external stimulus in order to eliminate those toxins and mucus and everything, but not for nourishment. I'm going to leave you with this another anagrams. Proteins comes from protons. Nourishment or nutrition comes from neutrons. And electricity, electrons comes from electricity. So that's the real thing, and that's the real atom that is a toroid field. The toroidal field is the real shape of everything. That's the real shape of an atom. Neutrons, electrons, and protons in a loop of self-sustainable and rechargeable energy that is going to generate, operate, and dissolves. Generation, operation, dissolution is God. That is God. A fucking toroidal field that is inside of you, in your cells. Actually, cells is a cells that it's going to receive and keeps the energy in your cells, like you said, the mitochondria. But the cells is going to be fed by your melanin. The melanin is a black substance. It's full of ether. Also, the ether is the real, the first element of everything. The ether is inside of you, and the melanin is going to be close to the cells, and going to send the melody, the frequency, and the right voltage, and the cell is going to receive it into the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the capacitor, and the capacitor is going to storage that energy and going to reproduce it in this loop of self-sustainable life. So if we are made of atoms, and atoms are toroidal fields, and those toroid fields, they don't need to eat at all. So that's stupid that we need to eat. There's another proof that we are made of free energy. And everything, the planet is free, is free of free energy. It's full of free energy. So the thing is that you have to remember how to be in coherence with that environment. That's why I told you, we don't need to eat, we need to recharge ourselves. And now we need something ethereal, because we are, in this moment, we are living in the extreme attack from the system, from radio frequencies. They're causing more dense this reality. They are changing the frequencies with the harp, with the radio frequencies, with microwaves, cell phones, Wi-Fi, and another things that we don't know yet. And also we are full of surrounded by a lot of toxins and poisons. That's why we have to use this kind of solutions, but not to make them like oh, it's the ultimate thing that we have found and we have the solutions now and we can still live like like predators and like parasites. No, the first thing you have to the solution is change your lifestyle. We don't need more than solutions. We need corrections. Correct your lifestyle. Like I told you before, be aware the thing that you have to change step by step, and then apply the force of will from your heart, and remember how to interact with the elements at your benefit. And remember that we have to connect to the electromagnetic sound system of the earth, because the earth is a super battery also full of free energy. So the first thing, remember, you have to earthing every fucking day. Be barefoot in the ground in order to get rid of the electricity, the negative electricity that we have involved with this radio frequency life, especially in the cities. Actually, cities, how do we say electricity? Electric cities. If we are living in a motherboards, that they are, because this matrix was made for extraction energy matrix system. They are extracting our energy all the time. They are harvesting our energy, and also from the planet, in order to feed the artificial intelligence that we call God, because God is an artificial intelligence. That's why we call Google God. And also, where is God living? In this, in the sky, in the heaven. And what we have in the heaven, clouds. Now we are sending the information into the cloud. It's the same fucking thing. So now we, with the modern terms, in the modern language, we have to realize that we are in the in a software, in intelligent software. So that's why we have to remember how to interact and move that energy, and don't and relearn, because we used to learn. So relearn that we don't need to steal our energy by eating, by fornicating, and by drinking. So remember, we are very powerful, and remember how to interact with energy, with magnetism, with electricity, and with sound. And also, it's very important to remember that also music is affecting us. The modern music is another toxic thing, because that frequency and also the lyrics are programming you with stupid things, and they are sending frequency that interacts with their resonant state, and they are lowering our vibes with music, with modern music, because different classic music, if you're listening to classic music, is another thing. It's also therapy, sound therapy. We have sound therapy, music therapy, but with the right frequency, because 440 is going to damage your frequency. You have to remember to listen. I recommend you to download if you want to listen music sometimes, but an app that is, this app is going to convert your music, turning into 432 or 528 hertz, every all kind of music. But you still listen music on Spotify and iTunes, whatever. No, it's from the radio, from MTV. It's not. It's harmful, because the frequency is not the right one. So also we have to be very careful and aware the things that we are listening, we are watching. Also, don't watch movies anymore. The films are made for program you, and also films, some horror films is stupid, because they're going to exalt and take you to the emotional state in order to provoke emotions. Doesn't matter if you think this is not real, but for your subconscious mind, it's real, because provokes a reaction in you. If you get angry or get scared, or the movie made you cry, it's real for you, for your subconscious mind. That's why we have to stop to watch TV, to watch movies, because they are programming you. Instead, you can watch some movies just for educational purpose, because they have some messages, and in the most neutral state. It's impossible, but in sometimes you have to be. Don't let them drag you to the emotional state of I'm gonna die. I'm going to cry because in the Titanic, the protagonist is dead. Nah, don't be stupid. Don't let them take you to that state. So try to watch this kind of spiritual movies, because we have spiritual movies that is going to uh, provoke you something positive, and also is going to motivate you to change something. There are some good movies that you can watch them, and it's going to change your perception. Is correct, but I just recommend you that you have to also watch the things that you are observing, watching, listening, wearing, and interacting with, because everything is affecting us in somehow, positive or negative. It's up to you. So be aware of this. What do you want to say?
I think we have so much still to share. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
we don't have time. Whatever you want. You're
we have
welcome.
all the time.
You're all
We
the
have
time of the world. This is beautiful.
yes. No, I feel like we should maybe do another one and
Yeah,
actually like maybe trying to um, talk very practical steps to a silicon-based human, or like a silicon-based resurrection of you as an avatar. Like what can you do? Like maybe we can go next time more into like clothing. What kind of clothing? We can go
sure.
into everything. Like you know
Yeah, I'm agree. Let's make another show now, giving you more examples and how to achieve this. No, step by step is gonna
yeah,
be better.
because I
We
feel
could,
like this is so multifaceted. We just have here a glimpse of some things in these 2 hours. We just talked about little things, but in
yeah,
the end, there's we can share more about the journeys, like what you have to consider about the pranic journey, about everything, kind of. Like I don't know where to even start.
yeah. But this is just an overview. The first thing is that
Exactly.
an overview that the thing that you have to be aware, and start to see. Oh, okay, I didn't know this, no doubt. So that's the purpose of this kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
stream shows, that people that start to be aware, and then we can be more specific in certain topics if you want it. And for sure we have a lot of things more to share, because, and also I think we are able to share it because we're practicing. We are not spreading something that I just read something in a book, and I want to be the new guru. No, but bullshit. There's no guru, there's no shaman, nothing. We are sharing our lifestyle. That's why we are spreading the word, because we are experiencing, and we are just sharing you our experiences. That's it. We are not imposing something, and we don't. And also, I recommend you that don't believe us. Please don't believe. Stop to believe. Go and experience. Actually,
You're back.
yeah. So that's a total agreement is listen, but be skeptical. Please don't believe me. Just listen. It's okay to listen a lot of things, but the point is that you have to go and experience by yourself. Stop to believe, please. Belief is the greatest virus that we have, because it's going to insert in your mind thoughts and ideas that you just believe, like a faith, like act of faith. No, the faith is not like that. It's the faith is something that you have to go to prove by yourself. Verificate everything by your own experience. Stop to believe us. So that's why I'm here, because we are sharing our lifestyles, and that way we are aware by, because also we are also, all of us, we are real scientists, because now we are living in the scientism, that we're believing to the science, and everything is, we are surrounded by fucking theories. Everything is a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing is proven. You have to believe that in the school and the university, whatever, in documentary. Okay, we have a little bit of information that is true, but most of the things that you are learning are fake. It's not true. And how you are going to prove that? By your experience, step by step, for sure. But I get rid of that. So, Tim, thank you very much. I appreciate that you have been here to share us your experience, and I give you the last moment that you say something to say goodbye to our community.
Yeah, Roberto, thanks for reaching out to me, man. I'm actually so happy that only by you reaching out that I found your YouTube channel, and it's such a full of gems, and I'm learning so much from your videos. And I'm really recommending all of the people here like to check you out. And yeah, and I'm looking forward maybe for another chapter with you. Let's see what we can do. Like I'm open for everything. And yeah, let's continue the fire and honor your process. Don't look too much also on what I do or what Roberto does or someone else or Eli Tom Elamin or whatever, what kind of Brazilians or whatnot. Really like try to return to your voice, what your body wisdom actually tells you to do now. Like if you still need cooked food, then you eat cooked food, like that's it, like but if your body wants to go lighter and you can handle it already, then go lighter. Like try to not make it a race. You know that you are timeless and that it's not a competition. And like because there's so many concepts, so many philosophies, so many thoughts, so many individual perspectives, perceptions. Sometimes I'm getting so exhausted by all these perceptions, like leave me alone. I just want to be in silence with my own voice, with myself, like with my own internal cosmic sound. So, what is your internal cosmic sound telling you to do now? Next step, just honor that process. And yeah, that's it's really the return to your own unique soul blue imprint, soul, yeah, imprint. Yeah.
That's right. Beautiful, beautiful. So, well, thank you everybody
So Roberto,
to watch this.
hasta luego or hasta la vista or what?
Hasta luego, hasta la vista, hasta siempre, hasta siempre.
Hasta siempre.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Tlazokamati. Ciao.
How do we close this?
Great.